What's good? Second podcast in a day. We got Justin Visserman, you might know him as Visser Visuals, on for this episode, and I'm really stoked to have you here, man.
Glad to be here.
Dude, yeah. You did visuals at the last two awesome shows that, we're talking about the one recently at the Crystal Warehouse with Juju Beats.
Sick.
And also the New Year's Eve show at Purple Buffalo featuring Import and all them boys. And yeah, dude, we've got a lot to talk about. You also produce music.
Yeah, it's been getting there.
You dabble in it.
I dabble. Definitely try to mess around with Ableton and make some funky noises here and there. Mostly just, dubstep, electronic, kind of just getting into that experimental, maybe like intellectual dance music sound.
Yeah, IDM.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So then you know Mr. Bill?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's actually from Charlotte, like where I'm from, so.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's living there, not.
Oh, yeah, because he's Australian.
Yeah.
Or New Zealand.
Staying there at the moment, maybe, but.
Yeah, but damn.
I've seen him poke his head out, really. He had some cool, Kill Bill show with, actualized visuals and Kill Smith and Mr. Bill at the Black Box. That was pretty fun, so,
Dude,
yeah.
I got to see him once at Zen Awakening Festival in Florida, and that was really cool. I want to see more of him, though. He's definitely crushing it, and he's the best with those tutorials on YouTube. If you haven't already checked out Mr. Bill's tutorials, yeah, do it. He's got a bajillion of them, and he's like one of the godfathers.
Yeah, I was more led so by Flying Lotus. He kind of put me on, actually, that's the reason I started making visuals, because I went to a Flying Lotus show in, 2018, it was 2015 at Bonnaroo. The most cinematic, just pearlescent show you'll ever see. Visually, musically, it's incredible. And he's a filmmaker, too, and I like, dabbling with that a little bit, so.
Yeah, Flying Lotus, I haven't dabbled in enough. I've definitely heard of him. And, Andrew Babyface Power Slap?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Name, though.
Yo, no, he's the best. Shout out. But yeah, dude, it's one of those things where where did you get into, being creative with visuals and music? Did it start with visuals?
I think it started whenever, I was in the skateboarding scene, really, because I wanted to make graphics for the bottom of skateboards.
No way.
I was a little kid, I started messing around in Photoshop, and then I was probably 8 years old. I don't know. I started making videos of me and my friends skateboarding.
What?
We were traveling all over the place. We were trying to go to competitions and things like that. So.
I didn't know you skated.
Yeah, dude. Since I was a kid, I haven't been since I moved, to Charleston as much. I need to go to that bridge spot, though.
Yeah, that bridge spot is awesome.
Yeah, I meet some good people there. I actually met one of my best friends, Milky Hayes, there, just freaking skating around. Now we work together all the time.
What?
Yeah, I love that kid.
Yeah, I don't know him well enough, but I've definitely met him before, and yeah, Tim did a track with him recently.
Yeah, exactly. And so I helped them do their little music. Well, they had a music video at Tim's house.
Oh, you helped him with that?
So it was actually my birthday, and we were dancing on screen. So it was
oh my god! So were you the cameraman?
It was actually my friend Trish. She was doing the video for that. I was working late or something. It was my birthday,
Yeah, dude.
Fun.
Yeah, exactly. That was a fun video to watch.
Yeah, dude. Actually, the first show I threw in Charleston, Milky Hayes was the headliner, and so that was pretty fun. I like putting him on, but
yeah, that was the one at the Music Farm.
Oh, the first show I threw here, we threw it at this distillery. It was the first show electronically that they've had. They just opened up this venue in Charleston. It was a Striped Pig distillery, so it was a pretty big, warehouse. We just kind of threw it on. We had that, and then the second show we did at the Striped Pig was Not Low. That was pretty wild. And
yeah, how was the turnout on that one?
Oh, it was popping.
And
it was that 360 show, yeah.
Dang.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. Player One put that on and Manifest, and it was wild seeing the 360 setup with their freaking fire sound that they built themselves. Like it's always wild to see someone build their own sound. You know, how the heck?
Yeah, and dude, so many people involved in all these events too, man. And so what was like your first show that you did visuals for, live visuals?
Oh, so I mean, there was this festival called Starbase. I didn't get to do it at that. You know, it was gonna be the first like big electronic music festival in South Carolina, in Charleston. It was gonna be at the Woodlands. It was, you know, it was like Slander, you know, their record label.
Yeah.
It was like Alice in Wonderland, San Holo, and a bunch of them. And that got canceled, so we ended up throwing a rave at Purple Buffalo. That's kind of where I did the first big shebang, like on the back wall there with the projectors. It was, who was throwing that? Sam
Brooke.
Holy City, yeah, Sam Brooke was throwing that. And
dang.
Jeremy Ateka, Germ Jelly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I miss Jeremy.
I know he's been stomping around in the Charlotte scene. You know, he's been crushing it. The last show I did in Charlotte, I had him out. It was J-Ho, Germ Jelly, Juice, John Mensis, Joneses, and we had Free Surf. So.
Oh, I love Curtis. Yeah, he's been on this podcast as well.
Oh, I bet, yo. He's everywhere. He's
yeah.
a homie.
Yeah, he's now in Florida.
Which is a smart move. I mean, what was it? You know, near Miami?
Yeah, Fort L, I think.
Fort Lauderdale?
Uh-huh.
Man, I love that spot. I mean, Miami in general. Like, that's the place to go to for Art Basel. That actually inspired me. That was the first time I went to Art Basel. I started making, like, 3D designs, and that's kind of where I started unraveling in 2021. You know, I was just hanging out in my friend's apartment, you know, stayed up after Rock Costello, which was like this festival on the beach. I had this vision, and I was like, I'm gonna go home and try to recreate this. So I ended up like going home, making it in Blender, and then I think I showed it at some, you know, Couch Collective shows at first. That was really kind of where I popped off. Because the first show I did in Charleston, right after that I ended up moving to Charlotte, so it's kind of where I started stomping around.
Yeah, Couch Collective?
Yeah, dude, Couch Collectives, you know, who really put me on in the Charlotte scene. Like, shout out freaking Zach and Spears and Alec and all of them at Couch Collective. You know, we started, you know, just doing weekly shows in the summertime of 2022. That was really helpful. You know, like kind of doing a residency DJ or VJ with them. I mean, they started putting me on as a DJ too. You know, letting me open up for a bunch of acts. You know, last year I was able to open up for Kirby Bright, which was really cool. You know, so
dang.
Yeah, we ended up you know, stomping around in Charlotte. They would bring me up to Washington D.C. They'd, you know, bring me all, you know, Tennessee for like Wub and Dub.
To run visuals?
Soundhaven.
To run visuals?
Yeah. At well, you know, help build the stages, you know, run sound, help put up the projector and like the LED wall, you know, anything really.
Dang.
Yeah, we had, you know, at Wub and Dub in North Carolina, that was our first like big festival we helped, you know, put together and kind of throw. And we had this dome. It was like the spot for like the VIP area, and that's kind of where I learned my first like dome visuals, dome projections. And that's always the spot. I love dome visuals. So.
Dang, yeah, visuals casted in a dome.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Sphere.
That's crazy. Well, dang. So what did you move to Charlotte for? So you were here in Charleston. Yeah. And then you moved to Charlotte and then moved back?
Yeah, I was going to college in Charleston, and then I, you know, got a start in production work. Decided I wanted to try to learn more, and went to Charlotte, which is where I grew up, so I had family living there. You know, worked with a bunch of production crews in Charlotte, you know, a bunch of clubs, like, you know, World Nightclub, which was like my first big nightclub I kind of entered in. And then worked at Hive Nightclub, just like running lights, running visuals, running sound, stuff like that. So, yeah. And then as I just kind of learned enough there, you know, came back to Charleston to do some more, learn under like other production companies, but mostly just for like work, like corporate events right now. But I mean, I'm still like just doing the freelance VJing thing, and that's as well as filming weddings and stuff in Charleston. So that's kind of the bread and butter. But
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No, I feel that, man. It's like, you and I aren't that different. Like, I've moved a lot more into the wedding industry as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a majority of the stuff, my gigs right now, to be honest, which is, it's cool with me, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I love DJing clubs and all that, but yeah, trying to get more into festivals, and like playing festivals more, done a decent amount, but yeah, the weddings, ain't nothing wrong with that, dude. And corporate gigs, ain't nothing wrong with that either. Yeah, you said you were, we were talking earlier, and you said you were setting up for this corporate event on Kiowa Island before you got here today, and you were putting up like 20-foot LED walls.
Yeah, dude. Definitely it's tough putting up those, like, I mean, there's like 2 20-foot LED walls in the room. It's like, you know, you got a few people working on that, but
Is it a TED Talk?
That was fun. I mean, it's cool, you know, learning how to put the LED walls together, how to, like, you know, fix them, repair them a little bit if they need, like, fixing, but yeah, it's good, you know, learning about that stuff. As far as, like, you can start with a small LED wall, and you can just scale up to, you know, 100-foot LED wall if you want to. And it would be nice to be able to learn that side of things and be able to run the visuals on the LED walls. You know, to be able to know both sides of the trade. So
yeah, absolutely. And so, have you been doing this like full time, like where it's like between, say, like freelance video work and, you know, kind of contracted corporate work? Have you been doing that full time for like a minute now?
Yeah, I would say as soon as I like started my career out of college, it was mainly video and production work. So I started with Nectar Sunglasses.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I started doing like their videography and helping like edit and just kind of overlook some of their advertisements that were going out, and as well as just, you know, getting my start with production and ministry, because you can learn like lighting and sound, and I actually like learned how to make visuals through Awaken Church here in Charleston. So
Awaken Church?
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting way to get started, and just being able to learn everything you need to know. And then really that kind of boiled into video production. And in that world, it was more just, you know, documentary filmmaking. And then I started, you know, I moved to Charlotte, and I started learning more about, you know, the like short film like narrative films, and getting kind of into trying to make music videos, and just like, you know, entering into short film contests too. So it's yeah, you have to know it all. You have to kind of know the sound side of it, the video side of it, and all together, yeah, freelance. I've been doing pretty much everything inside of media world, I guess you could call it. Yeah,
wow. So do you know Rob, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I actually had him on the podcast just a few episodes ago, and yeah, it just you know, it just reminds me, like, you talking about like kind of needing to know everything, even like helping produce stages and stuff. And obviously he was a part of the stage production for the Crystal Warehouse show.
Oh yeah.
And as well as you, so I'm glad that y'all know each other like that. He's
we worked for the same company for like 1 or 2 festivals, Crew 1, and I don't know if he was at Bonnaroo, but that was who I worked with when I went to Bonnaroo. I was supposed to go to Lost Lands, and then like I was trying to go to Electric Forest with them, but, you know, so we'll see where that goes. That stuff, it's fun hanging out with the stage crews at those big festivals too. You know, you learn a lot. It's, you know, a lot of sometimes downtime even, but just hanging out, it's definitely interesting.
We got people rolling up in here. Shout out Brad. Love this dude right here. And so yeah, I'm interested on like where you kind of have your goals set to right now. Like what do you want to be, like kind of like an Android Jonesy kind of, like where you're like sitting and like coming up with like your own custom visuals and like have your own unique style, and you become like a well, you know, just like a highly utilized visual artist, and that, you know, freaking wizardry.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Jones was inspiring when making, VR visuals. Like, I still use his program, like Microdose, to, sometimes throw on the screens at shows. But, yeah, I do definitely want to just focus on making visuals, like 3D visuals, and teaming up with other artists, like, making their cover art, making their album art, whatever it might be, making show announcements, things like that. And then, on the side, trying to pair my visuals with my own, like, music. Like, if I was, I'm starting to get a lot more comfortable, just got to master some things, and I'll be able to start releasing some music, and I'll be able to just, pair the visuals with the sound. It might make a little more sense, and run, like, AV sets from stage. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
so,
that would be, man.
Yeah.
I remember seeing, back in the day, TJ Sparkbox, he used to do a little AV stuff, like, where it was kind of correlated with, like, all right, so imagine you got the DJ at the DJ table, and from the laptop there's a HDMI that basically runs to the TV, like, behind him, and for each song there's, like, you can basically have it correlated, like, with, like, the music video, for instance. So, like, whenever you play the song, you get the music video on the visual, and then when you add effects, it does things to the visuals.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yeah, like, he had that figured out back then, and that was super cool. Like, reverb it out, kind of like blurs the visuals, or like throwing like a delay on it, kind of like gives it like interesting, like, stutter visuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've used that program. I mean, I've used a program called Algorithm that does that. I don't know if that's the same one.
I don't know
like
either.
DJ Pro.
Well, I think what he was doing was all Serato based.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like you don't really have to do
out.
too much extra. It's like
Yeah.
you just basically pair the music video or whatever video you want with the song, and then.
Did he make his own music videos too, like film?
No, he works in film now.
Oh,
like,
nice.
I mean, I say film, like, he's a. What is the name of that company? It's like Creative. I feel bad that I don't know it off the top of my head right now, but
Some Creative Collective.
they do like a lot of stuff. Like, they have like a studio. They do, like, imagine, like, TV ads for, like, George Sink, like, different companies.
Yeah.
Putting together, like, the advertising, the video, the editing, all that stuff. They host a bunch of things, and Craft Creative.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's it. So,
Okay. Check it out.
yeah, he's doing his thing. But I just had a random question pop in my head, basically, because I was just thinking about when you were talking about some of the genres of music that you kind of like earlier. So what was, like, the first kind of EDM music that you listened to? Like, what artist? Like, I know it's been a while since the advent of EDM now, but what were, like, some of the first EDM artists?
I mean, if you listen to, I listen to, like, Bauer, and there was this sick drop that I heard.
Miss Bauer.
Gosh, yeah, I remember seeing Bauer. I think one of the first concert, like, EDM shows I went to was, like, Cruella. And then, diving into... I went to shows at the Fillmore all the time in Charlotte. That was a spot. Sometimes it was the Chop Shop back in the day. It was some rhythmy shows. I mean, it's kind of all over the board. But, I mean, I remember just seeing, like, Carnage, like, on the rooftops in Charlotte. That was pretty fun. That was the first time, like, I started doing some onstage videography. Who else? I saw, like, Yellow Claw back then.
Wow.
That was pretty fire. And then, yeah, right after that, I started, just going to festivals, like going to see shows at Bonner, where, it was like, back then, yeah, it was still, like, Liquid Stranger, it was like Flying Lotus, it was I don't even know if Fortet was performing, but stuff like that, Fortet, like, freaking Cookie Monster.
Oh, I forgot about Cookie Monster. So when you first started listening to EDM, then it seemed kind of like the trappy-ish stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you remember when you first heard like dubstep?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was really when I heard Skrillex. I guess it was Excision too. Like, you know, heard Cookie Monster, heard, I mean, things like that.
What did you think?
That it was so mind bending at the time. You know, it was what I put on all the time. After that, it was like Flashadamus. You know, like I would just go off. That was always my party go to. You know, some trap bangers.
Did you like dubstep at first?
Oh yeah, dude. That's like
you like instantly liked it.
I mean, yeah, it was. I think Kid Cudi started coming out with like some dubstep remixes, or even hearing like ASAP Rocky.
I thought Kid Cudi just does
dubstep
like
stuff. Like,
wait, what?
Remember.
No, what are you talking about?
ASAP Rocky's like, bang. I forget if it was Skrillex or was that One Night Song. I think. Shit.
What is Did somebody remix Kid Cudi?
It was more just the electronic. Like, he played his. Kid Cudi did some stuff with not Dead Mouse. Was it? It was not Mouse. Modest Step or something like that.
Modes or yeah. I couldn't tell you. I didn't really get into Kid Cudi like that. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
for no good reason, really.
I think it was Modest Step. That was when I started kind of getting Zed's Dead, and Zed kind of popped off right around then. So then just seeing the cool music videos, I always wanted to make those. So
yeah, it's so funny because I asked that because it's like it's kind of hard to think back when you first heard dubstep and to think about what you reacted to it like. And I remember just kind of not liking it at all, actually, and just being like, I like EDM except for dubstep. That was like the heaviest thing at the time, basically, that I knew of. And I was just like, what is this cacophony of sounds? And then you know, I feel like it's just like an acquired taste over time. I mean, it grew on me.
Yeah, at the time it sounded like Transformers fucking, like, stuff, or just mind-bendingly, like, time-stopping type stuff.
yeah, and I just remember, like, kind of not really being into, like, as far as Skrillex, he used to be in the band From First to Last, and I was a huge From First to Last fan. Like, I grew up playing in bands and stuff. Like, that's my roots, and, you know, actually real instrumentation is, like, my thing. And then, so seeing him go from that, the band world, into him becoming Skrillex, it just sort of, like, I was just like, like, I didn't understand it really, and I was just kind of like, it's a little whack. But then now, he's, like, the freaking biggest DJ in the world, basically, and, you know, all of his old bandmates are just, like, living in the shadow of his legacy at this point. We should have switched to dubstep.
I mean, then there's the crossover with it. Like, you hear things like Chon, where it's instrumental.
Oh, you like Chon?
Oh, yeah.
Chon isn't dubstep?
Sometimes, well, not, it's more just like bassy, or like, they have some cool sound design in there.
Yeah, they got a little, there was like that one EP where they collabed with a bunch of people. Deslin, the drummer in Gods, my band, he's obsessed with Chon.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely like, I'll sit there and watch him listen to one of the songs next to me in the car, and he's just like air drumming everything perfectly, and it's so intricate, and I'm like, wow, like, you really listen to this for like 10,000 hours, and they're just so technical. And or wait, am I thinking of Toe? He likes both of them, but yeah, regardless, I'm glad that you know Chon.
Yeah, I mean, even when I saw, like, there's I think it's called Eon. It was one of, like, String Cheese's, like, bass players. They went into this, they made this electronic band, and, you know, made some, like, house music. Or even Keys and Crates, they have their live instrumentation.
Oh, yeah, I miss Keys and Crates.
Yeah, they got their, you know, they start going into some house grooves or some electronic breakdowns, things, live instrumentation. Definitely, like, seeing live music. I miss seeing bands play, you know? It's kind of overtaken the DJ scene, but especially in, like, festival world.
But this is what I've been talking about with some people lately, is that whole, I think, like, a neogenesis of live instrumentation back into electronic dance music with people like don't know if you know Reggie Watts or like Mark Rubier.
Yeah.
Honeycomb.
Maybe, yeah.
The Honeycomb, you know, the dude that he'll get on what is it, chat roulette or whatever, and then somebody will pop up on the screen and they'll just say like a sentence and it'll just be like whatever, like because he's on his screen, you just see him and he's like got a whole like desk full of stuff all around him, and it just looks like there's already a lot going on. They'll be like, what the fuck? And then he already made a loop out of that, and it's just like it turns into like a song in like 5 seconds, because he just like lays down the drums for a loop really quick, boom, switches over to the talk box kind of like thing. It's just like blah, 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 blah.
Dude, I was thinking about doing that myself, like having some live Ableton sessions, but the way Mark Rebier does it is so funny, like, and there's so many rooms for error, but it doesn't matter, because it's like, it's hilarious. I mean, and the live performance aspect, like, just being able to be there on stage and own it, like, I mean, the way Mark Rebier just runs around in his underwear, you know, it's kind of wild, but yeah, I miss that aspect of, like, live music. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it'll be making a come up. Yeah. Really like a comeback, because it's kind of just like starting to become more prevalent, and like people are ready to see more from an act now than just somebody in front of a DJ controller, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout outs to all those homies that are doing the on the spot production type things. That's truly badass.
There was someone who was playing recently, just has like, you know, live orchestras.
There's Opio, Pretty Lights, freaking.
It was someone who released this album called Antagonist, I think, recently. Gosh dang it, I can't believe him.
Taylor Swift.
No, it's some crazy bass house artist. But I'll remember the name freaking in a minute.
What do you think the last song you listened to was?
The last I was listening to some like this new dude named Thew. It's like machine drum. I like machine drum a lot. It's like drum and bassy, but kind of like color bass sound too. Color bass.
I don't know if I'm familiar.
I missed like there was an EPROM machine drum show I missed in Charlotte for New Year's. I like, you know, that glitchy bass sound. So
yeah, EPROM is pretty darn crazy.
Yeah,
we saw him at home base a couple years ago.
You played that, didn't you?
Yeah,
that's who it is. Yeah, Apache. That's who that.
Apache?
Apache.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that dude is sick.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so right.
That new tour. He's got this. Like, he's got a few orchestral, you know, violinists or brass sections or something. Yeah, it's just a brass section. Kind of like what Odessa does. So.
Yeah, and he can be a little bit more intense too. I'm pretty darn sure he basically does music for movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
see that, it's super cinematic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaken on that, but yeah, Apache, Apache, I don't know how you say it exactly, but you remember that song by him called No Twerk?
No.
What?
What's that like?
It's like,
bass house?
Oh, all of a sudden you a bad bitch, just got a fat ass like it's magic, and now you're trying to shake it like Ratchet. I guess the name is call you Go Gadget.
I do. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, dude. That song is amazing, and then the VIP of that is freaking crazy as well. Talking about putting a girl's booty through a guillotine, like you wouldn't even imagine. But I'm glad you know him.
Yeah, dude. Who is it? I mean, the first song off the album. Who is it? Fucking Busta Rhymes. Like that shit goes.
Busta Rhymes is an official feature on that?
Yeah, it's like the first song.
Hold on, let me see that shit really quick.
Yeah. What's it called? King.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking into this later. Wow.
It dropped like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've heard that one.
Yeah, I missed that for New Year's too. Atlanta.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, EPROM, freaking that glitchy bass stuff. Goddamn. EPROM and G Jones kind of always go hand in hand with me. I think they've done some work together.
Yeah. Yeah, they have some, a good design aspect. I love when, I don't know if they have like AV sets. I think he's coming out with his own like AV set, so that's got to be something to see. I always respect like a good AV set, something. I got to talk to more people about that, like time coding some visuals for some producers here in Charleston, even, or like even with you, like the stage, stage
Dude,
aspect.
We've been talking about that for a while. Like, I want to get some custom visuals going, and it'd be awesome to work with you on that. Pretty sure we've touched on that a few times in the past. And yeah, so when it comes to those kinds of things, like, do you use a combination of programs? Like, are we talking about like After Effects, also Premiere, also like maybe like Blender or Resolume or whatever? Like, how does that work for you?
All those really, and then you can have some film aspect. Like, I like popping some people in there, having some green screen, and then throwing a cool graphic design in the back. After Effects is cool, but yeah, Blender is where it's at. Like, if you're using 3D design, and then Resolume is just kind of the glitchy, matrixy stuff. But man, yeah, I love messing around in some Resolume. I just get lost in it. Like, even at shows, I'll sit there, I'll be creating new visuals in Resolume, just like kind of matching the vibe, or like matching the artist. So
how does it go? Like, if you wanted to say create a 3-dimensional object in a program, first off, like, what is that? Blender?
Yeah, I mean, you can use Blender. I made 3D objects in VR. Like, it's sometimes easier to just sculpt in VR, especially if it's like something like if I'm making a person or something. Or
so then, how does it work? Where, say, you got your thing that you made, and say it's just like an elephant head or an elephant that just like looks funky and awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you can spin it around in the program, and you're like, nice, I got my object. Go to export that. And then, are you able to export like a 3-dimensional object and then use that file in another program? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, you could. I mean, not all files like take 3D, but After Effects will take some 3D objects. And you can even like rig the elephant to make it look like it's, like roaring or whatever, like whatever freaking, raising its trunk, things like that. I mean, there's some cool, if you're into some funky zoo shit, like, I don't know if you're into some carnival music. Dang, like, I remember when I went to
carnival music.
Yeah, Electric Zoo, like, that's all I could think about was just like freaking zoo animals stomping, because they play some pretty heavy like bass house, like trance, or I don't know. Some of the after parties were lit, like the Brownies and Lemonade after parties there. But, yeah, dude, that shit. Yeah, I mean, I do have some cool ideas, with rigging animals up and moving them to the visuals, like. So, I mean, your logo would be fun to work with, like the crown idea, like messing around with some gold objects and just make. I mean, you make some kingdom looking, like castle looking visuals or things like that.
Yeah,
kind of going through it.
Kind of have like 2 crowns suspended, and they could just be doing like tilting around and moving and be working in symmetry, and like have like something maybe in between them, like my logo or whatever, dude. Like, obviously the sky's the limit. But yeah, so do you listen to podcasts, really?
Yeah, I listened to them more like in 2020 when I was like, freaking wanting to start making my own podcast, like Duncan Trussell, and things like that.
Oh yeah, Duncan. Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. Midnight Gospel.
Turning his whole podcast into a TV show, like animated series.
Yeah,
That's pretty wild. Like, that dude's pretty creative.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember when I found that out, it was after I had already seen some Midnight Gospel and just thought that was just like, the way they just wrote it or whatever. But then, no, it was really, from the podcast. And that definitely was a super cool factor to that show.
I'll have to rewatch that.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like it got me to thinking about some other things. Like, speaking of shows, what shows are you even watching right now, dude? Tell me. I'm curious.
Dude, I've been watching Dave.
Yeah, dude. On
Dave?
Hulu.
Yeah,
Shout out Dave.
Funny. That dude is one funny motherfucker. He, like, to be able to script write, rap, act, all that, it's pretty wild seeing. I mean, I watch like Atlanta. Donald Glover's freaking genius with it. The way he can write, make music, act. Like, I kind of like that people can dabble in both music, movies. That's something I've been trying to juggle. Is being able to write, being able to make music, things like that. So.
Yeah, I agree. It really surprised me when I started watching Dave, and I kind of had my I don't even know what you call it, like, reservations, but even for no reason really. It took me a while to click on the show, and then I did, and I was like, wow, this is actually like really funny, and like I felt like super on what it was just something that if you're like a rapper, music producer, somebody in the music industry, there's so much to laugh about, like, and just relate to in that show. Like, there's really like every episode is like so many examples, and I actually need to go ahead and continue watching it and like get caught up on it, because I don't know why I haven't followed through with that, because it really is a good show.
Especially as an up-and-coming artist, like, you see a building dog on you, or just the struggles you go through, relationally, or like with other, like, it's tough. Yeah,
being treated like a peon, and then having to work through all that and get people to be like fucking with you, against all odds.
Sure.
And so it's like I feel like he kind of did it in the right order. Like, he established his music career first, became known as Lil Dicky, and then made Dave.
Yeah, just from being a comedic rapper,
But then Danny Glover,
or
Donald Glover rather, sorry.
That's true.
He did it really the opposite, from what I understand, because I don't know if you remember, he had Derek Comedy back in the day. Like,
was that something like he did in film school?
That was like, Derek Comedy is like, I'm talking early YouTube days, and it would be like something on like, what was the name of those old blog sites? Like things that you'd maybe see on like E-Bombs World or something like that. Like, and it was just, funny, like short skit things, and it was him and his homies, and it was like the same cast. And then next thing you know, I start hearing about, Donald Glover and this rap career, and I'm like, I'll be damned if that isn't the nerdy guy.
Dang, you knew about him back then? Before you
did but like, it's almost like I guess watching Degrassi and seeing Drake, and then being like, what? He started out as Drake, and then he started out as the character in Degrassi, and then ended up turning into Drake. That's like a huge example of like, actor turned artist, like musician, rapper, whatever.
I mean, and they, as far as Donald Glover and Dave go, they own their weirdness. I mean, Drake kind of owned his emotional side when he first started, so like, it's cool to see people kind of just be themselves, and not have to like change too much. Like, they just kind of push their way through it. That's a respectable thing. And I know, I mean, Donald Glover being in Atlanta, Drake was from Toronto, which is where I was born. Like, it's cool to feel like close to home to these artists. So
interesting. I didn't know you do kind of look a little Canadian now that you mention Canadian. It. With those beady eyes, dude.
No, I'm like Dutch. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Maybe Canadian. I don't know. Oh, you're talking about from South Park type shit.
Yeah, don't cancel me for
oh gosh,
the beady eye comment.
No, it's funny, dude. No, I get that.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's one. I want to go to Canada, man. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto's popping. Like, I went there back in the summertime. It's got so much fashion, like culture and art. You know, it's inspiring. It's just like, it feels like just another New York City kind of. I mean, they're pretty close too.
Yeah, it's like the New York of Canada.
Yeah. Have you done any shows in New York?
I'm trying to think about it. I've done, like, not as a DJ. I've done my old band. We toured up to. I've done a show, like in Poughkeepsie, and I've done a show in New Jersey. Those were like with bands. I don't think I've...
What bands did you play with then?
Dude, like, we went up, I played in a bowling alley in Trenton, New Jersey when I was 19 with my band, Friends for Hire.
I think I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah, it's like I started out playing guitar in At Last Glance, and then I ended up switching and playing bass in Friends for Hire, and we did a nationwide tour, and that was one of the stops. Yeah, so I've played from, you know, Charleston to LA, freaking Dallas to New York.
Sheesh.
Done some shows.
Did you drive?
Those are, yeah, all that's been driving. I'd say, like, I've covered the United States, not every state or anything like that. Also did, my international credits are in Costa Rica. Done like 5 dates out there. That was with Ben Fagan. That was super fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really less about me. I'm gonna grab a beer really quick.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy. Dang. How old were you when you did that?
The nationwide tour was like 19 years old, and
sheesh.
Yeah, we were getting that shit done on MySpace back then, dude. Yeah, I don't know, like, dude,
what?
all the people that are like doing everything on Instagram now, I've been sick and tired of that because I already did that from MySpace. You know, it's like did so much connection, like just connecting of dots through MySpace, like literally hit up people on messages, get people to listen to the music, like all that, and then
that was the music that came on whenever you went to your MySpace profile.
Oh yeah, dude, those profile songs, you know what I'm talking about.
Dang. Yeah, I remember bumping some like Lil Wayne trap music on my MySpace page.
Dude,
back
yeah.
like the Carter 3 or something, you know?
Oh yeah, that was
one of the best.
It was, dude, hands down. That song, Let the Beat Build.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of my favorites.
Still the best rapper, I think.
Yeah, he's like one of the few that can kind of skate too.
Yeah, that's it's kind of inspiring. Dang.
It's kind of humbling to watch him too because he's like such a good rapper, but then you see him on a skateboard and you're like, yeah, he did that, but it was pretty sketchy actually.
Yeah, no, I mean,
not to hate.
He got good, but there's only so much you can do. How old is he now? Like 42? I don't know.
Who even knows? That's a good question.
Old. But yeah, he started late. I started when I was like 5.
Skateboarding?
Skating. Yeah, dude. I used to want to go pro. Like that was the goal. Either pro skater, pro snowboarder.
Bro, you too. See, you and I are pretty similar. Yeah. I was that kind of cat too, man. And you know, you get to the point where you just start going bigger and you just freaking hurt yourself, dude. And
exactly.
it gets to that point where it's like you can't afford to hurt yourself as much.
No.
Because you got jobs.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I miss snowboarding too, but yeah, you can really damage yourself with snowboarding, like face plants. Definitely like busted my tailbone on that icy snow up in Boone. Screw that.
Oh, really, Boone? You know, don't tell me, you know Sugar Mountain and Beach Mountain?
Dude, yeah, Beach Mountain was my stomping ground.
Isn't it funny that Beach Mountain had like a Wizard of Oz theme park there?
I didn't even know that. What are you talking about?
What?
I know they had some good bands, like a good venue. But I didn't see a Wizard of
Oz.
Yo,
are you serious? Yeah, it was like abandoned and all that. Like it's I'm pretty darn sure I don't have that wrong. Pull up your cell phone really quick. Go on the internet and type in Beach Mountain Wizard of Oz.
You said it's abandoned?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Wait,
Land of Oz?
Go to
no. That's just one of the runs.
Go to images.
So.
You know what?
Land of Oz.
That's
what you're talking about. Because maybe in the
of
springtime
Oz Beach Mountain. Yeah, there's like a yellow brick road. It was like a weird thing. Yeah, it's like pretty weird. That was a thing there, but yeah, I really messed up my shoulder snowboarding on. I think it was either Sugar or Beach. Hit a freaking rail that I guess was iced over, and I didn't know it, and I slipped right out and. From the height of the rail onto the ground, I basically fell on my stomach from however high it was, and fell out like that with my arms outstretched.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, it immediately messed up. Like, I immediately had serious shoulder issues, and then that only got worse. I messed it up skating from there, surfing from there. I probably dislocated this shoulder at like upwards of 100 times just because that happened.
Shoot.
So then I had to quit all the board sports.
What?
Yeah, dude.
You quit all of them? Damn.
Yes, man. I've hurt myself. I've had really bad bails in my day and age.
I mean, I miss hitting the jumps. Like, just like at Out Mountain, they have like this huge jump where, people will be hitting backflips or whatever, but it had to be like this 20-foot gap. And I didn't know how much speed I had to have, so I just went flying off of it. I catch like, 10, 20 feet of air, and then just land flat and miss the whole landing, downhill, and then my knees buckle, my face just hits like the freaking snow. I got like a busted black eye or something from that, so that was brutal, but yeah, dude, I need to check it out. Hopefully Denver will have some snow in April when I go. I'm going to a Liquid Stranger show or Wakan Rocks for April at Red Rocks, so that'll be fun.
Wakan Rocks. I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, no, they had their first Wakan Rocks, back in October, and I missed my flight. Never missed a flight in my life, but trying to make a 6 a.m. flight, I'm known for being late, so I, of course, couldn't freaking wake up for that. But,
yikes, dude.
That sucked. But so they're doing it again, in April, so definitely won't miss my flight for this one. Definitely not booking a 6 a.m. flight.
That's hell early.
You ever missed the flight?
No, but you
don't want to.
Yeah, no. Your story kind of reminds me of something kind of similar. Me and all the homies, like Mike Brown, who was here earlier, who you met. It was like him, freaking Jesse, like Natalie, Tim, his lady, we had probably about like 15 some odd people that we were all going out to Colorado together to go to Red Rocks to see. It was Opio and K-Lab and I think Of the Trees and I forget one other person or something like that. And then it got canceled because of the whole COVID thing just happened. Like it basically had just.
It was a March or April show or something.
Yeah. So that got canceled, and we were all like, "What the?" But we all had our flights booked and everything. And so we went out there anyway, but it's almost like the opposite. Like, they missed the show. We made the flight.
Dang it, dude. What'd y'all end up doing in Denver?
We just basically went out, did like a lot of hiking, you know, went to like, like places, like just like things to like sightsee, some kind of touristy things that we could do within the constraints of like COVID-y type stuff. Like,
yeah, I went to Asheville just when I missed my Denver flight, so Asheville was pretty sweet. Hung out with my homies. And Asheville Music Hall is kind of cool. Saw Truth there recently. Have you done any shows in Asheville? Yeah, you know Truth?
No.
You don't know Truth dubs like Deep, Dark, and Dangerous.
I haven't listened to much Deep, Dark, and Dangerous stuff.
Dude, yeah, you gotta get on that.
I do.
That Truth sound is pretty wild. I mean, Deep, Dark, and Dangerous is pretty wild. It reminds me of like Turnian sound type stuff too. I like that.
Well, speaking of styles of music, if you could have like a fully crystallized sort of genre sound for you specifically, like how would you describe what you would want to put out? Like what you would want to put out?
I mean, it would just be a blend of like future bass, you know, even some bass house, like tech house, and dubstep. Like it's really all over the board, but I mean, dubstep, like deep dub is kind of where it's at. Like that's where I go to normally, but then I'll hit like, I even like making some techno here and there, and then but mixing like the techno in with, you know, the bass house and dubstep. So hopefully you're able to use, you know, orchestral sounds with that somehow, or using instrumentation in that. But we'll see. I don't know. It's kind of, it's interesting right now because I wanted to make, you know, movie scores, like cinematic sounds. So I actually filmed like a short film for myself. I'm like trying to finish editing it, and then also trying to make like a soundtrack for it. Or it's more just a horror, it's about this kid who has this VR game that if, you know, you win in the game, you live. If you lose in the game, you die. So
oh damn,
it's just a fun little intense idea that I ran with last year.
Tell me a little bit more about that before we move on. Do you have a name for this?
We called it Virtual Brutality.
Ooh, so, that's actually cool.
Yeah. What
all do you have done with it, like, thus far?
I mean, we just filmed this scene where, you know, it's like he has to pass 3 levels, or like the first level's, you know, just trying to escape. You know, he's trying to find some keys in this you know, party house, and he has to like save this girl. But you know, when he's trying to escape, you know, he's just running away from this monster who, you know, is my friend John Close. He kind of put me on the film scene in Charlotte. And then the second scene is more so just like I filmed it, you know, with the green screen backdrop. So he's kind of running through this virtual space, and he's kind of just trying to find his way out of this maze. It's a quick, like, 10-minute, you know, short film. The last scene is just gonna be this, and we're still filming it, this where he's just trying to escape like this spooky woody feel, and you know, there's just this monster chasing him pretty much the whole game. So yeah, it's really just kind of a play on old school like 80s horror. So it's fun to mess with, but we'll see how it goes when you know, I'm trying to make some sounds for it. But
nice, dude. When could we look forward to like seeing the finished product online?
Gosh, yeah, I'll probably just end up posting it to YouTube. Hopefully, like this year. I didn't realize how long it takes to like edit short films together, but it takes a while. So hopefully, yeah, summertime or maybe the end of this year even. So we gotta finish that up.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
I'm eager to watch it whenever it's done.
Okay.
So then, what let's see. What all right. First plug really quick where people can get a taste of some of your work, like what would you prefer people to check? Like Instagram profile or?
Yeah, Instagram. I post most of my work. I need to put some loot packs on my website at visservisuals.com, or you can find me at visservisuals on Instagram. That's kind of the main source. It's
VisserVisuals.
Yeah, and then hopefully I had some AV sets posted on YouTube. I'll end up posting more. I have like 1 or 2 on there, but definitely need to keep going with that. So I need to use one of your mixers and just DJ and rent that shit out.
Yes, sir. Ain't nothing but a G thing. What are some of your goals for this year besides the short film, Virtual Brutality?
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, really trying to hone in on, getting some loot packs created, and so anybody can use them. Continuing working at like some shows and festivals. Hopefully releasing, some tracks on SoundCloud or Spotify, even if it's like self-mastered on SoundCloud, and then maybe some official master on Spotify or something. But I can't decide what I recently kind of changed my name. My friends call me Juice all the time, so I'm trying to not use Juice if I'm releasing music. I use Juice whenever I was DJing, just for fun, but I would use like the name Juva because it's just Juice Visser Arts, so it'd just be like an audio-visual collaboration for myself.
I like that.
So I'm trying to post some more like audio-visual sets for myself. So that'll be pretty fun. We'll see what happens with that. One of my friends does that, like in Florida. He goes by Utah Visuals, and he's got his his own like projection set up, and he's like running his visuals from the stage, I think, and he's got his own sound. So it's always impressive to see that.
It is, dude. Something that is always just like fun to divulge on the podcast is like some like career highs and lows, for instance. Like, okay, everything from like what's like the coolest thing that you've gotten to do like career wise, and then also like what's like the worst fail like that you've like maybe witnessed, or like, I don't want you to like self-deprecate yourself, but like maybe where you're like, oh dude, like one time, like I don't know, a drink got spilled on the mixer and it like caught on fire, and like, you know what I'm saying.
Jeez.
It's a little bit of a thinker, but
yeah.
For that juicy.
I think one of my favorite moments was being able to run this really dope like convention center after party for Grizz's Space Camp. That was pretty fun. Like this huge projection backdrop. It was like 1,500 people that showed out, and this is an after party.
Wow. Like, yeah, for Space Camp, Grizz's Space Camp.
Yeah, huge stage build, like
it's insane.
Huge alien, and like some pyramids on stage, and that was the most fun. That was tough though. You're running it. It's tough working those late nights, but it was a 2-night event, and so.
What did it go to like 5 or something crazy like?
Yeah, like 5 or 6.
Jesus.
Definitely. And it started at like midnight, so that was
wow.
the most fun.
I dig it.
Gosh, I mean.
Now time for the fails.
Yeah, no, I mean I've definitely like. I mean, even small fails like when there's a quiet moment like during a set, and then accidentally like I'll be running lights or something, and I'll accidentally like hit the strobe or like mess up the lighting board and start strobing during like a super quiet moment, or I mean stuff happens all the time with the LCD cutting out. Like I hate when project files like crash, or
oh my god,
sometimes my projector will just fall from the ceiling in the middle of the set. Like,
no, wait, tell me, dude. No, that sounds like something. What do you mean, just fall from the ceiling? That sounds like a night ruiner,
dude. Yeah, I mean, it kind of was. I thought my projector was broken. Like
it survived.
Showing it, like a cable just got snagged, and that thing came like tumbling down and just fell like probably 10 feet. And yeah, it surprisingly still survived. I mean, that was kind of recently too. So
what? How was it? What did you like zip tie it to like something on the ceiling? Like
no, it was just like It was on a stand, like really high, like up to the roof, but the thing just came toppling over. Like, and it, luckily it didn't hurt anybody, but yeah, that was kind of scary. You'd learn a lot from that, like time stuff, like putting sandbags on everything. Like, shoot, that sucked. I mean, I wish I had, and it could be worse. Like, I've heard people like having LED walls explode on them or something.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I've never heard of that.
I'm trying to think now. Got me thinking.
I'm just surprised that projector didn't break. Like,
yeah, dude.
What?
I know, that thing is resilient.
Wow, because surely like a bulb would crack or like some internal components would just be roughhoused so hard that. But hey, God was on your side on that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy enough, I'd say.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, some of my, like, when I first started VJing in Charlotte, I was able to, like, VJ for James Hype. That was probably one of the more fun shows that I got to do, yeah. That
At where?
A World nightclub.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've been there, man.
Used to be Club Label.
Okay, I've heard of it.
It was in the Music Factory in Charlotte, so that was a fun spot. But, yeah, jeez, I wish I could remember some of the horrors that happened.
Dude, no, that was good enough with the projector.
Yeah.
And James Hype he's an incredible DJ. I've just seen enough videos where it's like he just he really knows how to work a DJ controller. The way he'll just do transitions and like just I don't even know. If you know James Hype, then you know what I'm talking about. Man uses it like an instrument, truly. It's not like he's simply going between tracks at all.
There's so much energy. But there have been some times at that club, like, Tiesto played, and he like, blew out the subs, like...
Oh, really?
Way too loud. One time we were playing a show at this little brewery. We had, like, our 4, like, dual 18-inch subs, and it was when I was opening up for Kirby Bright. Like, I was like, you know, I was DJing, and then a few other guys came on, but at the end of the night, we, like, messed that place up. There was, you know, lights hanging from the ceiling, like, ceiling tiles were, like, falling out. Oh, that was kind of bad. I mean,
yeah, but
we broke that place up.
Sounds like it was a good time, though.
Yeah, no.
Oh, my God. Time. Yeah, dude.
Nothing caught on fire, so that's good.
Yeah, oh, my God. No, yeah, that's what's up, dude. Okay, let's see what timestamp we're at right now.
Sure.
Word. Looks like we just broke an hour, basically.
Damn right.
Time flies when you're podcasting.
Yeah, man. It's been fun.
Do you have anything you want to talk about? Ask me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, man. You gotta help me master my track.
Yeah, dude. Most definitely.
Drop that shit soon. It's called Juva Cakes.
Like Juva, you were saying earlier. Yeah, Juva Cakes.
Yeah, man.
That sounds catchy.
It's pretty poppin', but yeah, me and Milky, we're starting to collab on a song, so hopefully we'll be able to release that too.
Damn, yeah, dude. I'm eager to hear.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited.
That's what's up. If it's you and Milky A's, then it ought to be good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I remember filming a music video for Milky. We had the green screen, and it was like we had like 2 girls, and he was like pouring milk on them and stuff. Like that was kind of funny, dude. Hopefully we'll come up with some crazy music video idea for that soon. But
yeah, because they shot the music video at your birthday, and then
this was like
that was a separate thing.
Yeah, this was like a couple years ago.
Oh my God. You'll have to show me that video. Is it on YouTube?
I don't know if we even posted it, dude.
Oh my God. They just got drenched in, those 2 like poor chicks got drenched in milk.
I actually felt, and we didn't even like cornstarch the milk or like just make it water or in cornstarch. It was just straight milk. So. Oh my God, 2%
skim or whole?
Dude, I think it was skim milk.
Oh.
Yeah, that was crazy though.
Oh my God.
We stayed up late doing those things.
I thought you were about to say that one of those young ladies was vegan, and so it was almond milk.
She might have been. Shoot.
Almond milk, soy milk, hemp milk, cashew milk.
Yeah. I probably should have done that, but oh well. Yeah, my garage smelled like old milk. That was tough to clean up. Yeah, that was fun though.
Oh, that sounds fun. Anything else before we conclude?
I mean, feel good. It's been good chatting.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you being here. Yeah, so go check out Visser Visuals. We spelled it out earlier, and I'll have his link in the show notes, all that good stuff. So if you want to hire somebody that can handle some video work and or live visuals, Justin is your guy.
Heck yeah.
Right on. So if you could have like one word or phrase to conclude this podcast, what would it be?
It would be heavens yes.
Heavens yes. All right, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time.